Yep, I see it on yours. It means we're live sauce everywhere. My places, your places, all the places. Welcome everyone to a day of fun podcast. I'm Haleigh playing Warrior Witch Haleigh. We'll get to the Beldar bit. And I'm here with my brother Jonny and our good friend CS Brennan from Writer Reacts on YouTube. What's up, friend? Hi, hello.
What's going on, guys?
I'm so excited for today's episode because guess what? Yeah. Here's what we're doing. Here's the game we're playing, everyone. CS and Jonny are my prisoners. You are prisoners digitally to me and all of my girl ADHD. Whatever sauce I want to talk about, think about, play about, and is what we're going to do.
Okay.
So we basically are your therapist, but we don't get paid for it.
That might be what's happening just a little bit. I have to play with my inner child right now. So guess what?
I'm game. Let's do it.
The line between therapist and slave is very thin.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think that's fair. I think that's they get paid pretty well for it though. So I think that's where things are like
the big difference.
That's where it's pretty okay. I think that they volunteer to do it and they get paid. So that's what makes it cool.
She's a pretty big motivator.
Here's where we're going to start today, friends and neighbors, because it's what I've been thinking about I can't stop thinking about it. I don't know why. Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers?
Okay.
Doppelgangers.
Okay.
Talk to me about doppelgangers, y'all.
Like in the sense of there could be like people imitating other people, or there could be like clones of people.
Yeah.
Well, I like both of those timeline theory possibilities. Expand on either or.
Well, my brain immediately went to like Marvel's Secret Invasion and like the Skrull invasion of like people like shape-shifting over people and like the things that you can do if you like became somebody else. And like, all right, pose a question. If you could doppelganger somebody just for a day, like in somebody else's skin, who would it be?
Ooh, I want to be Nicolas Cage for a day. Like 100%. Are you kidding me? I'm Nicolas Cage for a day.
That is like, what is he doing now? If anything, I don't know.
Like amazing, silly. I just went to see Longlegs, like a couple, like that new one, Jonny, that you were showing.
You saw
Longlegs? Yeah, I went to the theater.
I haven't seen it yet. I went and saw Maxine.
Wow,
I went and saw Maxine.
I don't know what that is.
It's the what is it, the third movie of there was X and then there was Pearl. Did any of you guys see those? They were
no.
I think it's Neon that
I've been seeing a whole bunch of
movie company.
Okay, Neon,
the same company that made that or did they produce the Longlegs?
Yeah, because like in the theater when I went to see it, I like, what was that sparkle sauce you had going for a hot second there? That was rave party time. That
rave party time is me with my fat fingers hitting the wrong button.
Well, no, that was great. I loved it. That was accident, Bob Ross. That's what that was.
Just too much red. Trees are not happy anymore.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. That was fun. That was very on brand for the ADHD times. Well done.
That is literally ADHD, just imagery style.
For sure.
Oops, whoopsie. We're pink and we're red and we're blue and we're purple. Yep. What happened? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We like it.
Yep. All right. Doppelganger. If I could pick, I would say probably, honestly, at this time, like Hugh Jackman for one day. Just to see, like, okay,
that's a fun one.
What does it feel like to be like a man well in his 50s and still feel like a 20-year-old?
That's fantastic. I love that.
Also, not to mention that he's like still super successful on a franchise that started like 30 years ago.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
I love it. Let's
indulge in that.
Slide into that timeline just for a little bit, just for a day, just to see. No, that would be like the most awesome VR if you could make it. That's like a Westworld thing, right? Like
that would be
like, see what I'm saying? Where like you go in VR style, Westworld style, and you get to like be whoever celebrity person or historical figure, right? Maybe that like you get to be George Washington or Joan of Arc or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be super cool. So like, where did you get this doppelganger idea? Like when it clicked in your head, like where did your brain go?
Well, at first I need to know who Johnny Boy, who are you going to be in your
Oh, yeah.
doppelganger scenario? And then we're going to go.
I think
Don't
it would
worry, because
be,
this is the ADHD. Everyone learn how to follow along. You better.
just like I said,
this is the timeline.
Tesla going 200 miles an hour, and then you hit a pothole, and then it's kind of, I
Up
would
into
say
the trees we go.
I have two for two really odd reasons. Okay, I would say Leonardo DiCaprio, just because he played Arnie in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and then I would go Billy Bob Thornton because he played Carl in Sling Blade.
Billy Bob Thornton's got a lot of good roles, though. That's
Billy
awesome.
Bob's got some gems.
And listen, y'all, in the comments, whether you're live sauce or later sauce, tell us, who would you be? What would your celebrity person or historical figure or whoever you want to be? What would you be? Tell us. And also, what are your thoughts on doppelgangers? Because my thought on a doppelganger is more of like, okay, here's our dictionary definition here I will share, which is actually just a Google definition, right? Which is that's all it is anymore in this world. It's just that's what it is. Okay.
Yep. Ooh.
Doppelganger is a person. Yeah, see, here we go. Doppelganger is a person who looks very similar to another person, but is not biologically related to them. The term comes from the German words Doppel and Ganger, which mean double and walker or goer. Doppelgangers can resemble someone in their appearance, mannerism, speech, and clothing. Now, here's my thing.
I would say the only person that I would be like told that I look like really like accused of being the person on the street here in Fargo was Carson Wentz.
Interesting.
Do you know who that is?
I don't think so. Hold on, let me. But
football player for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Why did you think I would know a football player from the Eagles?
I don't know. You're from the Dakotas, and that shit doesn't happen very often. So maybe I don't know.
I don't know anything about sports sauce, anything, y'all. I am not. Come on, I don't know.
But yeah, I've heard Carson Wentz more times than I would like to hear, but I guess whatever.
Well, I can say very confidently, as an Asian man, I've never been mistaken for another Asian person in my life.
No,
which is said by not a single Asian person on this planet. But like, I remember I did a film before, and I needed a body stunt double, and so the film industry deals with doppelgangers all the time, and they actively go and seek them. And actually, that's a really fun game when you're casting, because you're like,
who can hire me to do that? I am so good at facial recognition. That's one of my superpowers. And I've been asking the universe, how do I use it? You guys, I am so good at doppelganger facial recognition. It happens all the time to me.
Yeah, it's like a little puzzle. Like, I'll do this all the time, and like look at somebody like, he's got the jawline of like Keanu Reeves, and like, okay. Okay, that's unnecessary.
I do this all the time with just regular people, though, where I will be like, you are a doppelganger of someone that I knew when I lived in North Carolina, or you are a doppelganger of somebody that I met when I was at summer camp when I was 13. Like, there are, like, I do this all the time when I meet, or I will, like, see someone's face and be like, I know I've met you before. I know that and it's like, or maybe I dreamed that I met you. Like, I have that happen where I will dream people's faces. Okay, how about that? Does anyone else have that? Or am I just the only crazy witchy sauce over here?
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'll do. And I'll vocalize them a little bit more than I should sometimes. But in the show, like Only Murders in the Building.
What do you mean vocalize them more than you should? Say more about that.
Okay, well, like if you say
indulge your weirdness, please.
Yeah, like if I don't know, when I worked at a grocery, like my first job in high school was at a grocery store, and I was a cashier, and I would do two things that like led me to like a career in acting and writing. Is I would try out different voices with each customer, ignoring the fact that this was a routinely thing, and they would be back the next week, and I would forget about them. And I would have a completely different voice, but a Western, an accent coming from a Korean man is off-putting in and of itself. So
no, y'all, I just did that today. I was I'm serious. I went into my Bernie character accent while I was at Granite, Iowa, at their little 40th anniversary thing. and I was just making little videos for TikTok. So y'all be watching my TikToks, all the posting silliness. Just you wait.
And then after that, I don't know, like I have this master of disguise kind of syndrome where like, I think it honestly is probably ADHD too, where like I could just say to this woman, if it's not really appreciated if you say to somebody, like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you have a very masculine jaw like Hugh Jackman. You remind me, the bottom half of your face reminds me of Hugh Jackman. And they don't really take kindly to that. But in my mind, it's a compliment, but it's not ever.
But like I'm ADHD would get excited about that.
See,
be like, like, hey, that's kind of fun. That's awesome. But yeah, they don't think so.
Well, then this is why we're here, because this is the few people who would, be able to handle that.
Well, and then you go into it with a 50-50, either they're going to hate it or they're going to love it. There's no gray area there. You know what I mean? Like there was a comedian named, do you know who Todd Glass is?
Yeah.
Okay. He always said that his mom said he looked like John Goodman. That's not the best compliment. You know what I mean?
But I love John Goodman.
I do too, but I don't want to look like him. You know what I mean?
That's fair, but
let's be honest. We didn't watch John Goodman for his looks.
Oh no, but
he had a specific look for some roles. But
John Goodman in what was that political show he was in where he played a senator? What was that where they were firing a shotgun in the basement in the first episode? Oh, look at CS is on it.
Like a senator?
Yeah. What was that called? It wasn't House or something.
Alpha House.
Alpha House.
Alpha House.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alpha House cat.
Yep.
There was one of my favorite movies that John Goodman was in was have you ever seen Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon?
I've heard of it, not seen it.
He played like kind of like a petty criminal, like kind of like yeah. Or no, what's this? Alpha House?
This is Alpha House where he's the senator.
Yeah. But yeah, in that movie, Death Sentence, he played kind of like a petty criminal, like boss, like crime boss kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I put in Death Sentence. Yeah, he always has like.
Oh yeah.
You ever seen that? It's actually a pretty good movie.
The glasses bring me right back.
Yep.
Oh, Kevin Bacon. Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
And look at it. Turns out look at you guys. Hold on. Pause. ADHD moment. We've accidentally been playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon because here he is. Sauce. Hey now. Yeah. That was a pretty good look at us, effortless gods, effortlessly playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yay!
That's one of his later movies that I thought was really good.
There are 2 actresses that I always mix up, and it's Jessica Chastain, the daughter who played Murph in Interstellar, the adult daughter. Her, yeah.
Okay,
her and Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know why. I don't understand why. I think I know. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention, but I
look at it. But it's the 3rd thing on Google though, so you're not wrong. Shit. Oh, whoop! I just clicked a bit, but like here we go. What did I do? I didn't mean to. There we are. All right, but yeah, that was the 3rd thing that came up on Google. So like you're not incorrect about it,
or at least sisters or something,
But isn't
they look very similar.
I love that kind of stuff though. Like, but I love it when it's just regular people that I see in my life that I'm like, you don't know it, but you look exactly like this other person that I know, and it's kind of fun.
you don't know it, but now you do.
But now you do, and that's why we all need to become celebrities in the podcast world, so that we can all play that game together and be like, you know who you look like is this person that I know from this. They have this other podcast. You got to watch it. You got to go subscribe to their channel. And PSBTW, we thank everyone who does go hit the subscribe button on our respective channels, Franki's Podcast Network, and check out Jonny Haleigh Day of Fun Podcast and Writer Reacts. CS, there we go. And sorry, now we can go backwards sauce to whatever we were doing before with the doppelgangers.
Yep.
That's called a reverse Uno card.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. The concept of doppelgangers is just weird. Just like how 2 people not related can have somehow just the same combination of features. And that brings me to like a whole different concept of like the number of the multitude of decisions and ideas and things that had to have happened for like this one result to have come, and for that result to be so similar to another result, which could be you. And that's where my ADHD
but that's brilliant. That's like parallel timelines, parallel lives. What if doppelganger people, celebrities like that are parallel timelines that have like they split off like way early thoughts that they were different names, different people, but like they are like they are parallel timelines. They're both actresses that look the same. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, bring up. I was gonna say to that point, bring up a picture of Carson Wentz once. I'm basically a broken nose, like correction away from.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Hold on.
But yeah, people confuse like in Fargo, especially because this is where he played football. I've been confused for him at restaurants.
There it is.
I'm a pretty big guy.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, we both have that dorky little beard.
All right, listen. Here's the thing, Johnny Sauce. It's not that I disagree that you have the look. I can see it.
Well, we got the narrow head.
It's just that I have no idea who this person was until just now, this moment in the world, in the timelines. Like
I mean, it was a bigger deal probably like 2-3 years ago, but
I'm never gonna know Sports Sauce anything, everybody. If it's not like Dan Marino because he was in Ace Ventura and that's why I know who he is. Like, I'm sorry, Sauce. I can't know who the things are, just so everyone knows. But I love this parallel timelines thing.
Yeah. That's always been like an interesting concept. And I just watched Interstellar, and it's all about kind of not like parallel timelines, but like overlapping people's timelines and like messing up with like and influencing their past and present. And there's a lot of mind-blowing stuff about it. It's really cool.
But there's a timeline where that's real too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're getting into like multiverse.
That's where I like to exist. The quantum multiverse. That's why I'm crazy sauce all day long. Well, that's why this happens that way.
A movie. Have you ever seen a movie called Moon? Speaking of like doppelgangers.
That's a doppel. Is it what? Moon.
Speaking of doppelgangers or like clones, it's called Moon. It's got. Remember the crazy guy in the Green Mile?
Yeah.
He plays basically an astronaut. That's all by.
Sam Rockwell.
Is that his name?
Oh,
I'm so bad with names.
Yes, I love Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Let me hold on.
But check it out. This movie it's great if you like movies that are kind of like a mind's like screw with
Sam Rockwell.
I'm gonna write that down. Yeah.
It's great. It's great if you just want to watch a movie and watch it play out.
Sam Rockwell is one of those actors that you don't always know his name, but as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, I know.
He's in 7 Psychopaths, which is one of my favorite.
He's that guy from those movies. Yeah.
He's in so much stuff when you think about it.
Have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah, I love Jojo Rabbit.
He's so good in Jojo Rabbit.
Don't do that.
That end scene is like, tell me you don't be like, oh.
Yeah, and I was like, did they just give me an arc for this Nazi? Like, that's amazing. Like, I didn't know this was happening.
But see, that's kind of why I can't do my own movie reaction thing, because I was just put in a small pocket of North Dakota and just bored out of my mind. I've seen everything you could. I mean, movies that suck that I should have turned off 10 minutes in. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I am from where boredom was invented.
Oh God, man!
So you watched a lot of movies. Heavyweights, the movie Heavyweights. I've probably seen.
I love
thousands of times.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta get. That's one of the reasons why I love doing the channels. Like, there's so many little pockets of like cinematic history that I've completely missed. You know, like yesterday, we spent like
95.
What is it, from like 5 a.m. to like 11:30 at night in the upper east side by Central Park, and just spent the whole day like jamming out with people. There were some jazz musicians hanging out. It was amazing. There's just when you guys come to the city, like, hit me up, because there's so much to do, and you'll be like, this is why people don't have time for watching all of these crazy movies, because there's just it's really overstimulating sometimes, especially for like some small town like people like my girlfriend. oh my God, like it's overwhelming, but it's amazing nonetheless.
I'm pretty sure Haleigh and I already had this discussion that if we ever go to the city, I'm going to stay in Chinatown. Point me to the nearest dumpling stand, because that's where this ginger's going to be.
I mean, that is the subtitle for Chinatown, dumpling stand.
I don't care. It could even just a mid-tier. I don't care.
You know,
I'm from North Dakota. I'm not easy. I'm not, hard to impress.
Dude, like Chinatown, and then because like almost every borough has like a Chinatown, like Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan. So also Koreatown in Manhattan and Queens, like some of the best, most trendy. And the cool thing about New York City is that it's a melting pot of cultures. Yeah. So you'll get like, we walked by a place, it was like Japanese Greek tacos. And it was this Japanese chef who Michelin starred, came to Manhattan, dated a Greek woman, learned her cuisine, and then just melded the two into Mexican tacos. And I'm like, I can't handle your business model right now.
So delicious and romantic and cute, and I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes my girl ADHD so happy.
Are you guys?
I was going to say,
this is your. You have topics.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, do you guys, where you guys are, do you guys have, because I know my girlfriend doesn't have a lot of choices, Grubhub or like Uber Eats and stuff. Do you guys like have a lot of choices? Oh, because she has zero from where, like in farm country. In the middle of like central New York, farm country, like right in the middle. It's nothing but like.
I never think of New York as, I know that it's a big state with a lot of space, but I just only ever think New York City.
Everybody does.
Well,
but that's not what it is. Y'all got farm country cows and stuff too.
The one part that's like city is like New York City, Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo. But other than that, it's nothing but woods and farm.
Yeah.
Well, listen. The first thing when I did, I'm just so excited. Go ahead, keep talking. But the first thing that came up when I Googled us was for New York farms was New York farms for sale. Who wants to go buy a farm with me in New York? I've been talking about exactly this.
Actually, you know what? That house on Land Search looks amazing.
Where?
Second row, the first one in the second row. No, keep going.
This one?
Down to the left.
Down here.
Right there on the left.
That old rock. It's like rock masonry.
Yeah. To shoot something in that house, oh man, you're taking me back to like location scout days. Like,
how do you?
I would love to do that as well.
Yeah, like how do you like locations? Like more or less.
Look at
location,
how beautiful with the flowers.
Yeah, location scouting is probably easy getting permissions and licenses. And all that stuff.
So
look at how
my God.
Yeah, like that. I mean, if you could film anything there.
That is such a dream cottage. Yeah.
You could do a rom-com. You could do a horror movie. You could do like a spooky. You could do spooky Children of the Corn rom-com somehow.
Yeah.
Like very cottage country put it together.
And that's so funny. You look at something like that and you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at those chairs. Do we see the chairs in the back that are like?
Chairs.
Could you imagine looking at that house and then seeing me walk out of it? Like, where did I go wrong in life?
Oh, but that's the fun part. Let's play that game in life. How do we do it?
What do you mean?
Trim in the top
every day.
There was some.
Go for it.
You know what this reminds me of? And I love the baby grand in the back. This reminds me during COVID. Do you know the show House Hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just did a show with like two comedians. I forget the man's name, but Natasha Leggero, who she does all of the roasts, like comedy section roasts. For sure. They just did a show where they watched episodes of House Hunters and just like satirized the hell out of it and like judged people's comments about like it was the funniest thing I ever saw. This whole concept, what we're doing right now, reminds me exactly of that.
Well, the best thing I ever saw in one of those like house flipping things. Yeah. Is
that's very futuristic.
They didn't want brown, and it was like Trading Spaces. Remember Trading Spaces?
Yeah.
They didn't want brown specifically. They did not want brown, and then they walked into the living room, and it is brown. And I mean brown. And like I loved it because you could just see the wheels come off because it was just they
Johnny
were very
loves the 𝓲𝓸𝓭𝓪𝓷𝓼.
Well, they were vocal about how much they fucking hated it. It was great. I love honesty.
Look at look at the blue and yellow. Is that kind of green?
This is so different from the outside.
I know. I was not
Right.
expecting any of this very
Yeah.
artsy. Like every room it kind of looks like every room somebody did up in one of those like iPad games where you're doing the interior decorating. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, what's a great place for real estate is like Arizona, like outside of the cities where like you need your own wells. I believe that Haleigh and I actually looked up a property that had an airplane hangar on it, and it was like in the and it was like
that into like a podcast
way
studio
lower.
space.
Yeah, it was like
hell
than
yeah.
what you would think it was. I think it was like $250,000 for a property that had its own water source. It had an airplane hangar, a runway. It was crazy.
God.
You guys, seriously though, all this stuff, every room like makes me think that like it really is done up from like this is like a video game. Like somebody took those redecorator video games and just found rooms of people that and were like, "Yep, that recreate."
But you know what? When I see stuff like this, I'm like, okay, what's around it? Because when I see a house like this, I want my own land and I want no one around me. You know what I mean? I want nothing but I want to see people when I want to see people. I tell my mom all the time. I tell my mom if I ever buy land outside of Fargo or something like that, I'm going to put a big gate on that road coming in that said, "Did you call first?"
Did you call first?
Right. But like I want
look at
I want to be left alone.
But this is exactly where you want to be then, wherever this is. I don't even know.
You want a trip? Look at the lake properties
Hudson Valley of where?
Northern Minnesota, like around like Detroit lakes and stuff like that. Look at some of these lake properties, and these are summer houses that people go to on the weekends.
Oh, that's right. Cool. We were in New York. I forgot. Y'all, this is in New York. What?
Yeah.
Oh, this is south. Okay.
This is Woodstock, New York. Okay.
Listen, from what I've seen, New York is one of the most beautiful states. Like when you're in pockets of it, it's got everything. It's got mountains.
We gotta buy some land. We gotta buy like a place like this that's like already super crazy fun, interesting.
Go up once.
I wonder. You know what this makes me think? You know, it's already got the concept for like each each
agricultural land with home first. So like this is. I love this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Almost 22 acres of land. That's pretty good. What if you did like, what would a reality show, if you bought a house like this, what would a reality show where they just housed a bunch of podcasters together?
This is exactly what I want to do. You don't even know. I've been talking to my friends about this. This is exactly what I want to do. How do we turn it into a nonprofit, unincorporated, silly shit little podcast town?
That would
They kind of did that with
who has the resources, the knowledge, the know-how, the right stuff. Let's do this because I want this beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty blocks in the trees, you guys.
Well, do you remember that the VA? I think it was on VH1 or MTV. But do you remember they put musicians in a house?
Oh,
and did like a super group. They kind of did that with musicians.
Do the podcast that nobody knows yet, but that are the best awesome sauce that ever could shall be in the podcast world. YouTube.
Well, like I'm just saying that's kind of been done with a different angle.
Whatever, they're gonna do it with us. I don't know who's gonna find it, who's gonna see it. I'm calling it in from the multiverse, that we're creating it right now because look at this pool, you guys.
That would be cool.
You can make by that pool. Look at that.
But like, really, if you
there's like a Zen garden for me to walk around in.
This is just ADHD at its finest. Right. Like Johnny, for real, the garden. This is a garden.
Yep.
It's the best.
But anyway, but look,
you could turn it into a little shop.
Yeah.
Oh, we can have a little shop.
But do me a favor, go look at property. Go look at property outside of Fargo. Like find rural property like this outside of Fargo. You're looking at this and it's 3.5 million. You're
gonna raise the money somehow. I don't care.
No. I could get this outside of Fargo. I could get this outside of Fargo for probably $600,000.
I mean, that's pretty good. I will say,
But is it already done up like somebody's done a video game search and just plopped it
into
a house?
This area has a lot of money in it. A lot of money.
I will say that like a lot of these pictures, this one not in particularly, but a lot of the pictures have been highly edited. I still would really love to tour it. To be like, okay, like
you can see the light reflection in a lot of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks vibrant. It's because you got 6 lights in it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, where's
but
the
it's-
source?
Look at the
That's what
river.
I'd be in it for, right there.
Is this
that's
right
nice.
here exactly?
Right.
This is where you sit and meditate.
Listen, I'll shit
go
in a hole for a
fishing.
year if I could live outside of this. All right, porta potty it up. That's
okay,
what I
listen,
want.
that's like we could, but you could sure. Okay, we can do that too. We can tent it up and we can.
My
we can
house.
just
Let's be honest. Your house could be a dump when you own that because you're never going to be in it.
and you're never. I would never be. In
Why
that
would
house.
you ever be in your house if you lived on a property like if you own property like that?
That is
I
a good
would-
point. You
You know
know,
what I mean? Why the hell would you be in your house? With the winter, I get it, but
yeah.
No,
It's
that's
almost like you
actually very
want-
true. I would be
it's
in
al-
that river.
It's almost like you want like a beautiful house like this to be in like the suburbs because like, okay,
Yeah.
you're going to be in it. But like something like this, yeah, I would be fine with like half the size if I had all that land.
you know what I would do? I would put a small little part of that as my living quarters,
Yeah.
Airbnb it up, and I would
Yeah.
probably never be in it.
Oh,
Just Airbnb. Let people spend $600 a night to stay in a, oh, this house is so amazing. I'm gonna be down by the lake. You guys enjoy it.
You know, it'd be like the best outcome of this episode is if like the company of this website reaches out to you and says like,
Right.
please refrain from commenting on
Right.
our listings.
Send us a
ever-
cease and desist.
ever again. This is Marty Ryan. Please do
yeah,
not.
whatever. Listen, guess what? You know what, Marty Ryan? I'm giving you free publicity on the YouTube sauce world and the multiverse, and you should call me and give me a check for it. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
That's
Fix your
right.
color correction.
I'm
Yeah.
a real estate. I'm a real estate person's nightmare because I used to be a salesman, and I will not.
Oh.
I will not give in to joy. I know the
Mhm.
manipulation tactics.
I
they're
will
using.
not give
I know
in to
because
joy.
that's how you sell stuff. You get
Uh-huh.
people excited about it. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Who you don't have a Harley? Oh, your friends are going to be riding a Harley. You know what I mean? What
Yeah.
are you going to be doing? Sitting out in your garage, hosing your flowers off while they
Mhm.
drive by?
I
and,
will,
Get people excited. That's how you sell.
guess
But like,
what? Guess what?
yeah.
I'm writing that down. I
Hmm.
will not give in to joy. That's a t-shirt
no,
right
no.
there.
if you ever go buy something,
Like,
you
that's
act like
anti-motivation. I will
no.
not give in to
it's not
joy.
hard. If you go buy something like a car, act like that car is the least the thing you want the least. Act like
Mhm.
that because then that's how you get a deal. If you go in
Yeah.
there and excited about something, I could sell anyone a car like that. You know what I mean? You're there to buy a car.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Johnny boy.
What do you
this is
want to
in-
buy? An
this is in
SUV? We got
Arizona
8 of
for
them
you.
over here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Put your walking shoes on, baby. We got time.
This
Is
is
this
Johnny
Fargo?
boy. No, this here
What's
I
this?
just went to. This is Tucson. Sorry, I just went to
Oh.
Tucson.
Is this the airplane hangar one?
No, I just clicked on. I don't even know what.
Yeah,
I
what is
just
what is
googled.
this? 1.2 million?
Wait, what is it? What's the 3D tour? That's
Hey,
it.
let's go look. Oh, how dare you! Model not available.
All right,
For
now let's bash him.
shame. For shame. Don't have that little
Right.
tab up there if I can't do it.
Watch it be completely gutted on the inside. It's just a big room.
That's why there's no tour.
Right. Oh, you got a fountain. No rooms
I
in
was
the
gonna
house.
say, like we're so far all outside land.
It's really
That
redacted.
patio's pretty pimp.
I mean, they
Ooh,
got
look at that grill.
Mhm.
Okay, now this,
Fridges. 2
yeah,
fridges.
this
I think
I'm
the-
into.
I think the only thing I'd have a hard time getting used to, and it's because I've grew up around like forests, is like
Mhm.
just the desert kind of foliage.
Yeah.
You know, how things are kind
I-
of spare and barren. I don't
Well, have
like,
you-
it's cool. Love it.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. Like that flooring you would never see in like New York. That's very
Yeah.
like a Western style, which is cool. I do love the exposed trusses in the ceiling.
I
That's
like
kinda
that
cool.
too. I
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. But I'm with you on the desert temperature sauce. I am not about that. I need
Temperature
like,
too. It gets
I
super
like the
cold
rib-
in there, right? At night.
There's not much to retain that heat.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
I
It's a-
know,
yeah,
I
it's a-
do, but I do like the river more, like the trees and
My
the.
thing-
Yeah.
My thing
I'm
is,
with
if you
you.
have enough money for this house, you got enough money to heat it. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You got a fireplace in almost every room. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, sorry, I'm just applesauce flipping through here. What else? Do
No,
we
it's
need
fine.
to look up?
You know what?
Or-
A lot of this
Go ahead.
reminds me of like Extreme Home Makeover.
Yeah.
Like the first house especially reminded me of it, where like each room had its own distinct like personality and vibe to it. It just made me laugh because I always watch like Extreme Home Makeover, and they would like grill the kid and be like, "What do you like? Like, what's your interest?" And they'd be like, "Well, I mean, I saw a shark once. Shark, got it. Okay." And then it's just like boom, blast, shark everywhere. And I'm like, this kid just briefly mentioned he likes sharks. Right. Not only that, like he's gonna outgrow this in a year, and you just destroy his whole room to be nothing but like the one thing that he briefly mentioned in passing. It just had me cracking up. It's like, this is not what he wanted.
Well, you know, it went like this. He's like, "Okay, what do you love more than anything?" And he was like, "Titties." Okay, what else do you love?
He's like, "You don't understand." It's like the architectural challenge that will present. I was like,
TLC is going to go for that kid. So what else do you like?
Sharks. I love Shark Week. Who doesn't love Shark Week? Now we have to. Okay, well, guess what? Now we're gonna do this.
Somebody in the comments, just said, temperature goes up to 120 down to freezing. Oh my god.
Oh, in the desert? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Down to freezing like at night? 120 in the day and freezing at night?
Yeah, there's nothing to hold the heat. Like around here we have grass and trees.
Omni, no way. Wait.
You know, that's funny. Like that's one of the things.
And hello, Adam, and all of our friends in the comments. Hi,
what's going on? I always say like that's one of the things that gets people like sick the most in New York. I don't know what it's like in the Dakotas, but in New York the temperature fluctuates by the day.
It's pretty bad.
Okay, all right, yeah. It's
like
crazy.
It's more seasonally. Like we have extreme heat and we have extreme cold. It's not like it's going to one extreme, you know what I mean? It's wherever you are along the way.
Yeah, and
that's kind of what I tell people.
Seasonal transitions can be kind of sharp.
Like in North Dakota, it gets so cold that your gas tank can freeze, basically.
Oh my god.
Like 40 below is
I was actually
10
just
minutes
talking
and you're
to
gonna
somebody about how like South Dakota and North Dakota are like, it's like when you cross the border into South Dakota, the winters become harsher somehow. It's like that state's just like, guess what? We don't want you here. Get out.
Yeah.
We're going to be so cold you can't deal with it.
Well, like North Dakota too. It's like to your comments about the desert, it's kind of the same extreme. It's just green. Everywhere is green.
Yeah.
And then in the winter, it's instead of sand, it's snow. You know what I mean? It looks like a desert of white. You like you have to wear sunglasses because like snow blindness is an actual thing. You know what I mean? You can burn your retinas. Just
actually, no, I definitely see that. Like, do you guys ski or snowboard or anything?
I don't.
Yeah. Just like the goggles that you have to wear, like sometimes like they'll be like completely orange, completely blue. But if you're like looking downhill and you see nothing but white, you don't see any depth percent. You don't have, no depth perception. They're like, I don't know where this hill, where the bottom is. I'm just gonna move until like gravity tells me otherwise.
Well, then in
That's
New York,
some serious trust that you have to have.
While I have way too much trust when it comes to gravity.
For sure. Well, in New York too.
Applaud you for that. Good on you, sir. I don't have that bravery. Like salute.
Well, not like roller coasters, anything.
What's that?
I've done roller coasters. I gotta tell you though, like I always think now of when I took my kid siblings when they were bitty. So like my younger siblings, I took them to like an amusement park in Wisconsin because I was living in Wisconsin at the time. We went to Wisconsin Dells, and they've got like some of the world's largest water parks.
Awesome.
And and so that's what we went to. But they also have like an amusement park next to it with like a roller coaster. And I took, and they have like an old wooden roller coaster. It's kind of like one of their attractions. Those are
awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I took McKenna on there. No, but like she was, I guess, tall enough to be on there, but she was not in there securely. And the whole time I was just hanging on to her like, oh my God, I am losing. Like and she was just not holding on to nothing, arms up, having a great time. And I was like, good. Like, so I have a little bit of like PTSD trauma when I think about roller coasters.
Oh, you don't.
Like,
yeah.
I was gonna say
you should not have been in that roller coaster seat. You were that thing was not tight enough to strap you down good.
Well, the Tri-County Fair outside of Wishick, that's basically you just get chill up your spine when you see the when you see like the rides. It's like it's basically Six Flags meth addicted cousin. Like just that carnival rolling through, it's terrible.
Well, like to be fair, wooden roller coasters, they knock the shit out of you. Like
yeah.
they are kind of brutal when it comes to like turns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll crane your
It
neck
was
like
rough.
crazy.
It was rough.
Are you
I'm
guys
not gonna
familiar
lie.
with the bullet?
No.
It basically swings you around like really fast, like it's almost like a Ferris wheel, but you're in this thing that's turning this way
Mhm.
and spinning you this way at the same time. And
That's
it is going
crazy.
It's an
stupid
iconic
fast.
fair
It's
ride.
basically,
It's very
is this the
old.
bullet? Oh yeah.
Is this what we were just talking about?
Is this the Tri-County Fair?
I don't know. I
Looks
just
like it.
pull it right. That's all. This is top
Do
of
these
the
ones
palm.
spin?
What's up top
wonder
of
if
the
these ones
palm? We'll
spin.
go ahead and we can like subscribe to you. Happy day. And here we go. We're looking at Carnival rides.
Or maybe
Oh
maybe
my
it's,
god.
maybe it's the zipper that spins as well. It's called, I think it might be called the zipper. This one just goes around like a, but there's one that
Okay.
spins both ways. It
That is
goes this
crazy.
way.
Did I
What's
tell
the
you guys
zipper?
about
You know what? We'll just look up Carnival rides. Tell us about it.
have you guys first off the Adam Twister has said have y'all ever driven racing go-karts? Like as a like kiddie ones, nothing like crazy.
What?
Nothing,
Yeah, like what do you mean the racing go karts?
Like that
Like-
go like probably 20 miles an hour.
I think yeah.
Like that.
Those ones. A little bit, nothing
Yep.
crazy, but
Okay.
I mean, if there are
like,
crazier ones, I would love
Yeah.
to. Like,
Oh,
we have a lot of racetracks around here. Like, that would be
Yep.
really cool.
I just picked up an e-bike
kitty race cars. Let's
and
do
it
that.
goes 34 miles an hour. You have no
Nice.
That's
idea
not-
how
okay, well,
fucking
that's-
scary it is going 34 miles an hour on a bicycle. Jesus.
That's
know what?
Not, that's
I
not
know,
what
like,
I was
you
looking
say-
for. What else do we want to find
You
here?
say that you would love to be like only around people when you want to be, but like
Right.
talking about like e-bikes and like wanting to like be out and do more, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
sound like a New York City guy because that like e-bikes are rampant.
I
around
love
here.
it.
It's crazy.
But
And those guys go flying, and they will like
Yeah.
Batmobile
Mhm.
their way through traffic. Like it's
Mhm.
it's honestly impressive. Like I feel like they're being
Yeah.
scouted by NASCAR because like these guys are just so
Yeah.
equipped to like get through like 60 blocks of traffic, not slowing down one bit.
Mhm. Well, I took
It's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I took it to my hometown, and like you drive a mile and you're on gravel roads and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
my brother and I, with pedal assist, we're going 30 miles an hour down a gravel road. Okay,
Mhm.
one patch of loose gravel, and it's gonna end really bad. Like bad.
You guys have me over here just like so you know looking okay like now I was trying to like not be interruptive of my stuff but like now I'm looking up Batmobiles over here so
Oh, you're
Mm.
fine. Do you think?
like y'all are I just
Let me tell you something. The Batmobile, the original Batmobile, I think it's like a 1950s like Chevy or something like that. That is one of my dream cars. The original Batmobile, whatever car.
you
it is.
want
I think it's a
Yes.
Cadillac. I think it's a Cadillac. It's
Oh,
so
man.
so awesome. Like a 50s
I was wondering
Cadillac.
because like I'm only really familiar with like the Christopher Nolan Batmobile.
Yep.
I didn't know like is there like a hierarchy of like top Batmobiles, or is it like
The original
Also-
was always my
Sorry.
favorite.
yeah? Also, Haley, feel free to you know pull the reins in on us at any time.
No, this
Yeah.
is what I wanted was for us to go off the rails and no
Okay.
one like that's
Yeah.
exactly what this was supposed to be. This is
Mhm.
going so well for me and what
But yeah,
I
like,
wanted. Don't even worry about it.
the
We're
second
on
picture right
Batmobiles
there,
for absolutely no reason.
The second
Yeah.
picture right there, I think that's what it's 5. How many were there?
Casey Bush
Oh,
built the
the-
real turbine-powered '80s boat. The Adam Twister knows everything.
Like that top one.
What's up? Oh,
Like
I
on
gotta
the
go over
second
here. Where's
picture,
he
that
at?
top right.
That is in the same as some of those images.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Built the real turbine powered 80s Batmobile and some okay, very cool.
But yeah,
Casey
that's
the car
my
guy.
God.
That's the Casey the car guy is we gotta find that.
yeah.
The car.
The top right one on the second image is that's the one I want. That 50s. I think it's a
This
Cadillac.
one?
Oh, I want that so bad. Look at that. It's beautiful. It looks like a car. You know what I mean?
It looks like Dracula's car.
It's
Like-
so, awesome. I love it so much.
I just a little bit. Like I get
That-
you. Like there it is. It's
that
groovy-
and the
it's groovy
gremlin.
sauce.
The gremlin
yeah,
from
yeah,
Wayne's
yeah.
World.
Oh, the gremlin. Yep.
Here we go.
Oh man.
We rank almost every
Yeah.
Batmobile ever. Here we go. This is what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Especially with the fins in the back.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They
The
basically
Last
just gave it a paint job
Wheel.
and some aesthetic things. That's why I like it. It's still a cat. I think it's a Cadillac. I don't know. I'm not a car guy, so
I'm not either. You know, I really wish I was.
I love driving them.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I love seeing a fancy sports car.
Right.
I saw some of those today. That was exciting. Sorry, now we're just looking at.
Are you old enough to remember the Woody Jeeps, like the Jeep Wagoneers from the 90s, that had the wood sides?
This is
yeah. I never
that was my classic car.
Really?
We had 2 of them when I was and it had that third bench seat in the back so you could flip people off when you were driving.
That's
it was great.
Adam Twister is a car guy. What's up? Very cool, yo.
Nice.
No, we wouldn't flip people off, but like it always had that kid seat in the back, in the way back or whatever, that 2-seater thing that you could always just ditch out. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now my ADHD girl brain. Oh, what do we got? My ADHD girl brain wants to know about Jensen Healey's and why they got discontinued. Adam Twister, car guy. I think Jensen Healey is a car. I'm thinking about when I used to watch BBC Top Gear shows, and Jensen Healey cars. I think they were, I want to think kind of convertible type cars or sports cars. Was a company that is like defunct now. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know why my brain thought of that, but what were you saying? Go backward, reverse Uno card.
I think, all right, we had a car. So my dad was restoring this 56 Belvedere Plymouth. I don't know if I have a picture of it. Like, ever since like it came out, I guess it's like my mom's aunt bought it brand new, came through the family and all that. So it had one of those like benches in the back. Still had those cars where like the front seat you would fold over so you could get into the back and everything. So those things were tanks, like massive. Yeah, exactly. They're like that. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, like a Bel Air almost. Like,
exactly.
Kind of similar to a Bel Air.
Just like that, except like the color was like a sky blue. We still have it. But he would restore it to the back seat. It was just a one giant bench like of a seat, no seat belts, nothing, and it was leather. And so what he would do, and I don't know, he was kind of sadistic for this now that I think about it. He would.
I can't wait to hear this. I'm so excited.
1956. Yeah. So he would grease the back seat, and it was like me and like 3 of my other like 10-year-old friends, and we would just.
Oh my God!
We would go, and when you had those giant steering wheels, like, and you turned, like everything went flying, and he would hit the gas and just crank that, and all of us would just like obliterate the kid on the side, and it was like we would call it power turns, and we would eat that up because we weren't the kid on the outside, so.
There's the back seat. Here we go. This is what we're talking about.
So imagine it's still pretty big in the back. So you got 10-year-old kids, and you go flying. You're gaining speed before that kid on the edge actually feels the impact of his friends just completely, destroying
smashing into you.
It's amazing. Oh God, my childhood was weird.
You know what? One of my favorite.
Fantastic. I love that. That's my favorite right now. That's like when I was younger, we used to go up to our friend's house who had a trampoline in her backyard. We would put the sprinkler under the trampoline. And then we would cover the trampoline with like Dawn dish soap. So it would be and you would slide all like that is just injuries waiting to happen is what my brain thinks now.
We had I was gonna say we had wrestlers. Basically they were pillows with limbs. And we beat the piss out of those things. I mean, elbow drop, Shawn Michael elbow drops.
Yep. Like I'm still a huge like wrestling fan, and I remember I still watch it this day. I'm trying to do some more live streams if I can, because wrestling. I don't know if you guys like keep up with a lot. It's hot. It is a hot product right now.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
is it? No, we can go into wrestling. I'm just pulling up
like top-notch quality stuff right now. But anyway, just like you, I got into like my mom's like baking sheets, and I found out that they were like just light enough to make the sound I needed for like a chair shot, but like they still like they didn't hurt at all. And I'm like, okay. And I remember like we would swing from like the pipes in my basement. I don't know how those things didn't break, just to like do like little like sunset flips onto people. And God, man.
We would break beds. Like I'm not a small person. And we would jump from dressers and just walk and like then you would fix a bed. You would
Yep.
have to, you know, you're 15 years old and you're digging through a
Yeah.
woodshed trying to find,
The
trying to find
problem
something
is,
to prop this up.
yeah. So like dad doesn't like see like what you
Yeah.
did.
There
Yep.
still is a hole in my in the living room from my brother. He pulled back on like it was something in his hand and it like came out. It was something that you're
Oh.
supposed to tighten and it
Yeah.
hit the wall. And
Yeah.
there's still a spot that I can see,
Mhm.
and all it is paper mache and
Yeah.
white out.
That's so funny. My parents did
The
the
brain
same
of a
thing.
10-year-old.
Yeah, my parents did the same thing until it was
Yep.
time to sell the house. They
Mhm.
left all of that as reminders of like how
Yeah.
much like you messed up through your life.
Well,
Here
eventually,
you go. Here's just the reminders of all the
Yeah.
things that you destroyed.
I know. Yep.
and like
yeah.
eventually I told my dad about it and showed him because 15 years that went by and he never saw it or whatever. I basically told him I could basically stick my finger through your wall right now. It's all it is paper mache.
Yeah. You ever
Maybe
like
a card behind it or something. I don't know.
Uh-huh. You ever think about like, because I think about this now because like my girlfriend's daughter's 8 and
Mhm.
I'm like observing like the things that she does like for fun and I'm like, man, there are lots different now between generations, between like what we did as kids and like what kids now do. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
What
why
do
don't
kids
you?
now do?
Well, like, you ever hear of Roblox?
Yeah.
Road.
Oh, yeah.
Let me road.
It's like this.
It's a video game, right? Basically.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a gaming app that
Yep.
connects you to all these different. You can create
Mhm.
games in it, but it just you can play all these online.
Oh.
No. Oh, ROBLOX.
Okay.
Yeah.
ROBLOX.
Yeah.
One of my
Okay.
friends' daughters plays it like day and night. So yeah, I
Yeah.
know. He
So-
tells me
and-
about it.
Oh,
So-
they're like Lego people.
Well, some of the there's so many different there's definitely so many different kind of like games that you can play and like
Mhm.
like you could be a mermaid, you could be a chef and have your own little world and everything. And she loves
Yeah.
it. So like, we're still long distance. So she's like, can I like go online and like play with them? I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But I'm like, wait a second. Can anybody play in this? Like, and like adults too? And like I'm looking at the chats, I'm like, I don't like this.
No.
and
This is
but like
Danger Mouse. I don't know if you should be
Yeah.
talking to that person.
but also
Yeah.
but also like I'm like
Because look at Chucky. That's a thing. Like, watch out, y'all.
yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, why don't you like? I'm noticing like she doesn't have a huge desire to go out and play. And I'm like
No,
my
no.
mom every summer would tell me that at the end of the year, at the end of the summer, like in August, like with back to school and everything, she's like, you have your summer legs. And my summer legs were cuts and bruised and everything, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
still had like mud
Yeah.
somewhere in like the back of like my knee. And they're like, she's like, that's because like you never like were in the house unless you had to be fed and then you were right back out.
Unless
Like-
you had to be fed. And even
Yeah.
then, you could be like, guess what? I'm taking this sandwich and I'm bolting back out.
I was like, yeah, you still had like one hand like on the outside of the door eating your sandwich, so you'd be right back out.
Yeah.
But, like,
Oh, yeah.
I know, like the things that we did as like kids versus like the stuff that kids say like they did now that's like crazy. I'm like, you want to talk about like crazy? Like try like
Yeah.
just jumping out of like tree houses and not
Mhm.
knowing, like not having a game plan, or like just like things you would just do in the woods. I'm like, we had like. Not to pull that generational card, and I told myself for a long time I wouldn't do it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I
you
think
guys
that
kind of
there's a
have it
certain
easy.
time in which that like you just can't help it. It's a part of like our human cycle. Is that like
Yeah.
you just hit an age where you're
Yeah.
like, man,
Yep.
guys, you have no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
when I was a kid too, it was unheard of to be in the house in the summertime. Like,
Yeah.
well, and also we didn't have money for a lot of entertainment in the house. Like, you know what I mean? So you went outside and you were outside all day. Like,
Yeah.
one thing I ask kids nowadays is if they say that they don't go out much, I always ask them, have you ever been told when to be home for supper?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you're not home at
yeah.
5:30, there's gonna be hell to pay. Like,
Uh-huh.
have you ever been told what time to be home? No, you're already home. So
Yeah, exactly. And
so
that's
it's like-
funny because like that's funny you say that because like
I
she's
never had thought of that though.
Yeah.
That's like,
I used to get my ass kicked all the time for not being home for supper.
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
don't-
you did. I
You
do
don't
remember
want to
that.
come home. I never
Mhm.
wanted to come home. It's boring.
I'm
Yeah.
busy playing. We're outside building forts.
Yeah. I remember like we would come home, maybe it was like a boy thing, like back in like the like early 2000s, where like we would come home. I remember we would go in the woods, just play around, look for like creatures and stuff. I remember my mom would tell me to this day, like you would just come home with like garter snakes like attached to your
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
that was
Adam
just
Twister, he would catch insects. Yeah,
catch
like,
insects. Yeah, exactly that. Well, we would miss we would misidentify them as like rattlesnakes, of course, because we were dumb. But you know, like we brought it home, and then instantly we're told to like dispose of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to catch like salamanders and stuff, and my dad let us keep them in like a fish tank, and so like we would feed them, like, you know, you'd go get them little lettuce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like, we had salamanders. I had a snapping turtle that started to eat my salamanders that had to be released into the wild. Yep.
Like, did you catch the snapping turtle? That's awesome.
It was a tiny little quarter-sized turtle on the parking lot. It was just a tiny little turtle. I found it after we were mini golfing. And
that's really cool.
It home, and it got bigger really fast and started to eat my salamanders, and then it had to go.
Well, speaking of snapping turtles, like the Red River, does it go through Sioux Falls?
No, we got the Big Sioux. Big Sioux,
garden spiders.
Okay, we have a river called the Red River.
Ooh, no, and I don't like those.
I think it's only one of 2 rivers that flow north.
That's cool.
Like this river flows north, but you should, like, if you go fishing in there, I see people swimming in there, and the snapping turtles that you pull out of there.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't put a fucking toe in that water. It's terribly, like, you pull some snapping turtles out that it's like, I don't know.
Oh, I know there's snapping turtles in Big Sioux, but people still go swimming there. I've been going swimming in Big Sioux here around here.
Well, I tell Haleigh all the time, the Red River, it's become a dumping ground. Either you're going to dump a car or you're going to dump a body. That's what it's become. It's just they're always raking it for bodies, and they're always looking for stolen cars over by the river.
And then finding bodies.
And then finding bodies. What a super fun time. That's a party and a half. That's like a 90s PC video game right there.
But it's if somebody's missing, they look in the river, because a lot of people will commit suicide in the winter. They'll jump in the river and drown because their bodies will go into shock and they can't swim. So like college kids, a lot of college kids around here jump in the river. I don't know why. But
because they're trying to fit us all into boxes we don't fit into.
Get it.
ADHD people in the world. And you want to know what? Like,
that age, you're very vulnerable. I get it.
It's like, you don't see that on the brosure.
No.
Yeah, like that was not as advertised. What? Excuse me.
There's like new apartment buildings.
Yeah, I think there's an extra mental health and safety elective. Right. What is that for?
There's new apartment buildings downtown in Fargo. And like I tell people all the time, they didn't put that. Like you drive by it and you look in the brochure and it looks just scenic and great. And then you drive by it, and I always tell people, oh, they didn't put that in the brochure. Shitty ass nappy whizzing through the air. Because it's right by a river just full of garbage. No,
but like that is true. Okay, but like listen, y'all, we're up to an hour, and I want to
oh shit!
Thank you for silly time following me along. Before we close out and have everyone plug whatever they want to plug to go find all the things, we missed one more of the ADHD elements, which is my 𝓕𝓻𝓪 element in my name for today.
All right. Okay.
The closing question for today, y'all, is how often do you think about the Coneheads?
Oh man. I probably watch the Coneheads twice a year.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can clearly picture it exactly that, but
I think about the Coneheads probably a couple times a week.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that movie.
I think about the Coneheads a lot.
Well, like CS, that movie I sent you, The Great Outdoors. I watched that at least twice a year.
Oh my God! Like the dentist scene.
The good old ones I'll watch.
I love it.
Have you never seen Coneheads?
It's been a long time.
Oh, I was gonna say,
I would need a fresh. No, like I so
that
I
would
can
be
clearly,
a great one for you to react to. Actually, I would love that.
I could clearly visualize it, but like I couldn't tell you like anything that happened in it. It's been a long time. I should.
I could go through like
Just tell everyone they're from France.
France. We come from France. Donald R.D. Chico. And Adam Sandler is the guy who sells him his fake ID stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and then Chris Farley's like that nerdy
is the boyfriend,
dude going out.
who's like the mechanic guy going out with the daughter. Yeah.
Well, dude, like that Great Outdoors, like I said, that Dan Aykroyd era.
I was gonna say that era of comedy.
How do we do watch parties on here, y'all? We got to figure that out. I don't know how to do watch party on StreamYard.
I'm lost on that.
I'll have to figure it out. I'll look.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to do like a watch party reaction time for like where even if it's just I don't know how we would do it, but even if the only thing we share with the audience is our reactions while we're watching it, that's totally fine with me.
That sounds cool.
If that wouldn't work, we could always do a discussion episode.
Yeah.
Watch a movie and just discuss it.
Yeah.
But people do watch parties. Like I don't
Well,
know.
yeah.
Like, here's Adam. Thank you for coming and everybody for joining us. But
I'm not very technical with stuff like this. So you're asking the wrong person.
Guess what, friends? Whosoever in the comments can direct us to the right YouTube link to tell us how we need to do that. Really simple, like that would be the best of us, and we appreciate you so much. And speaking of appreciating everyone so much, though, let's like make sure everybody knows where to find everybody. So CS, do tell everyone, Writer Reacts on YouTube channel, and where else should anyone be looking for you? We got links in the description below for people to find you. But what else do you want them to check out?
Essentially, it's everything that I put now is going exclusively onto Writer Reacts, whether it's vlogs, whether it's daily comments, inquiries. I can never get that word out. I should just eliminate it from my vocab.
Right.
There's a new word we'll find for you. We'll help you with it. Inquiries, it'll be something else.
Yeah.
Let's just call it like digital letter sauce.
Digital letter sauce. If like digital letter sauce, like on my channel, like I think sometime this week I'm going to be posting like a little mini short vlog about in New York City. They opened up this Harry Potter exhibition.
Cool.
That you can go through. So for Harry Potter fans, you can go through. You could see all these props. Like they have the very first Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stone, the luggage that he used for platforms 9 3/4.
Fun.
The original costumes and everything, and then you go interactive stuff. It's really cool. So all that stuff on Writer Reacts channel. It's going to be a good time. It's always a good time.
I love it. That sounds like fun.
Good.
Yep.
I dig it. Well, also, friends, thank you so much for joining us and popping up in the comments because we do love it when you do that. And check out Franki's Podcast Network on YouTube also for all the other fun podcasts we do. And thanks, y'all, for joining us. And see ya. Thanks so much for hanging out again for a day of fun.
Thanks so much for having me. Always a fun time.
I so enjoyed having you both as my prisoners today.
I thought we were going to do something with the movie Prisoners. I got real excited.
We can do another one next time. And then got scared, and you should be. Oh, next time we can get spooky weirder. I'm ready.
Love it.
Thanks, y'all.